The UK was once a nation rich in biodiversity, home to species such as lynxes, wolves and bears. However, due to human activities such as hunting and farming, with 70% of the UK's land being used for agriculture, we have since lost these apex predators and many other keystone species. This loss of wildlife has not slowed down. Since the Industrial Revolution of the 1970s, almost half of our natural biodiversity has been lost. According to Professor Andy Purvis, this is a higher loss than anywhere else in Western Europe, the most of all the G7 nations, and more than many other nations such as China. 90% biodiversity is considered to be the safe limit for the world to sit at to ensure that an ecological recession doesn't happen, which could cause disastrous effects such as widespread starvation. At this current moment, the world's biodiversity sits at 75%. The UK's reading is worryingly lower at 53%. This is shown by the loss of many species in previous years and many others on the brink of extinction. The pipistrelle bat numbers have declined by 70% between 1978 and 1993. And as of 2020, there is an estimated number of only 200 Scottish wildcats left, the last species of wildcat remaining in the UK. Even the once common garden bird, the starling, is on the decline. We know that biodiversity is key to a healthy, thriving ecosystem. The extinction of any species can have disastrous impacts that can cause the destruction of an entire ecosystem as it becomes unbalanced and unable to deal with any changes to the environment, whereas a diverse ecosystem can often adapt and overcome changes. We can see this beginning to happen here in the UK, where we no longer have any large predators. This has allowed for the deer population to continue to grow to 2 million strong, the highest it has been in 1,000 years. And with the demand for venison at a low since the pandemic, the annual culls have been down 20% since 2020. This is a problem as deers graze the land, leading to more uniform areas. With no natural predators here, the deer do not move on and create large spaces of monotonous habitat. This has horrible consequences for biodiversity. Woodland species such as hedgehogs and warblers that rely on the woodland vegetation for food and shelter can no longer thrive in the areas after they are flattened by the grazing. Humans have replaced the role that apex predators like the lynx, bear and wolf would serve, but it's clear that we cannot do the same job as effectively. This is why rewilding the UK is crucial to our ecosystem's survival. Introducing an apex predator that once roamed here, such as the lynx, would restore the balance we have lost in the ecosystem, managing the deer numbers and movements and allowing the natural regeneration of overgrazed areas. So far, since the 70s, it has been reintroduced to Switzerland, Slovenia, Croatia, France, Italy, the Czech Republic, Germany and Austria, and Spain has plans to reintroduce the lynx over the next year. It may be time for the UK to follow suit and help bring back balance to our ecosystem. Several campaigns to reintroduce it already exist here in the UK. Introducing the lynx will not just bring ecological benefits, but economical as well. In the town of Bad Harzburg in Germany, where the lynx has been reintroduced, the town has rebranded itself, making the lynx the focal point. Millions flock to the Harz National Park every year, bringing in revenue for the rural area. In the UK, the Scottish Highlands and the Kielder Forest have been suggested as the most suitable place to reintroduce the lynx. The towns and villages surrounding these areas are rural and somewhat rely on tourism to survive, much like Bad Harzburg, so a lynx reintroduction we can predict would have a large economical boost to these areas, providing more jobs through hospitality sectors to accommodate for tourists and guides for lynx tours. Studies have shown that the natural environment supports almost 750,000 full-time equivalent jobs and over 27.5 billion of economical output across the UK. This could further grow with the introduction of an apex predator. Rewilding campaigns, particularly the ones that suggest introducing a large carnivore, often stir heated debates, particularly for farmers and landowners who are more often against lynx reintroduction due to fear of them predating their livestock. A recent study by David Bavin and Jenny Matheson on lynx reintroduction in Scotland found that farmers overwhelmingly feel as though the introduction would threaten their culture and way of life. Furthermore, they are left distrusting conservationists after the illegal reintroduction of the beaver. Another pattern of the study showed that there is a lot of uncertainty on how they will affect the environment, an already existing species. In order to have lynx reintroduced into the UK, all people must be heard and accounted for, as trust needs to be built between stakeholders and environmentalists, as rewilding is about everyone. Once this trust is built and more certainty is gained, then the UK can hopefully join the list of lynx reintroductions and begin to fill the gaps in our environment.